Our viewers. Let me introduce my guest this evening here on Checkpoint. I have joining me Murathe Kang'ata, who is the Murang'a Senator, and also with us is David Murathe, who's the Vice Chair, the Jubilee Party. Gentlemen, thank you for making time for us this evening. I see you're very attentive and keen on reading the paper, Senator. Nitakupatia hiyo.
No, thank you.
Karibu sana. So first of all, perhaps before we get into what we're discussing with the Register of Political Parties, today you have more people moving to the Kenya Kwanza team, among them the man who succeeded you as Majority Whip, that's Kimani Wamatangi. You also saw Kabogo joining. For you, is this speaking to a Mount Kenya region that is sealed and settled in Kenya Kwanza?
Today's move is merely vindicating my letter, which I had written to His Excellency the President, I think 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago, because the essence was telling His Excellency the mountain is strongly in favor of Ruto, and nothing can be done to stop that wave. And all those people who are surrounding him are just lying to him. It's a little bit more surprising because those who defected today, they are all major political luminaries from the central Kenya and in particular Kiambu County. We talk of Moses Kuria. People are saying, I think my colleague here had said that Moses Kuria is Azimio, but today he said he is in Hasla Nation. Wamatangi, Chief Whip, the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kiambu. So meaning people like Kafogo, such characters defecting, they all come from Kiambu, the homeyard of the president. It's a clear indication that the mountain does not want to join Azimio. But I know why maybe that happened. It's now clear Kalonzo is now the deputy president designate of Azimio. So that sent a shocker. I feel so bad that I'm from Murang'a. My colleague is from Murang'a. We are all pushing for Peter Kenneth. That's so bad. I mean, Peter Kenneth has been going around campaigning for Azimio. Now my colleague, surely.
Well, it's not settled.
Why did you do that to Mr. Peter Kenneth? It's so bad. It's so bad. But you know, we were praying. Even if I am in Kenya Kwanza, I was wishing the very best for my colleague Peter Kenneth from Murang'a County, and I knew Murathe, being a Katanga man, he will definitely deliver that seat to Murang'a. No, kumbe, they had other plans. They are pushing for Kalonzo. So that sent a shockwave in the very few 10%, 20% they were expecting to reap from Mount Kenya is now gone. Yeah, because Mount Kenya now they have zero major position in Azimio.
But you're speaking as matter of factly, yet it is yet to be announced who the running mate will be, just as you're yet to announce in Kenya Kwanza who the running mate will be. But perhaps, Vice Chair, speak to these defections.
Page 10.
Sorry?
Page 13 of today's Sunday Nation indicated that. And it said that Kalonzo Musyoka negotiated for deputy president position, and that is why he agreed to sign the deal. So it goes without saying, my friend Peter Kenneth.
We are yet to see the details of the deal.
Sophia, please.
Yes.
You know, these guys, they rely on rumors and newspapers. And we know, we don't, like, I can't remember the last time I read a newspaper because I'm in the kitchen. There's nobody who knows the conversation that happened yesterday between the president, the former prime minister, and Kalonzo Musyoka. So anybody telling you that there were deals that were stuck or not, it's pure speculation. I feel sorry for these people because they are always hypothecating their game on asking for running mate to William Ruto. I just want him to appreciate, and it is highly hypocritical for him to stand here and say that he would prefer that Peter Kenneth, who is in Azimio, gets the deputy president slot, and yet they are angling for the same. in UDA. In fact, he's right about one thing. All those people who went there were angling for the deputy president's position.
And now they're
We are
convinced
not
they can't
surprised.
get it.
Yes,
Now they appear to be convinced they're not going to get it.
in UDA.
Okay.
For example, you saw Malala. Malala's statement yesterday was categorical. We were running a presidential candidate called Musalia Mudavadi. We are going to concede the presidency to William Ruto. But our irreducible minimum will be for Musalia Mudavadi to become the deputy president. That was Malala. Malala is the person who took Musalia Mudavadi to UDA, to Ruto. So when you hear Malala speak, you know, and in any case, I'm sorry for them because they are damned if they do, and they are damned if they don't. If they give Musalia, Mount Kenya walks. If they give Mount Kenya, Musalia walks. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday, which I don't know about these catching feelings. And today is, they were very annoyed. Hasira makasiriko. You actually wonder what happened that annoyed you people so much. You went personal, direct attacks on the person of His Excellency the President, to a point where all along the DP has pretended, oh, my friend, my boss, my whatever. Today, makasiriko, we were shocked that they can stoop that low with innuendo and lies, and to a point where they even went for the president's brother and other government officers. What happened yesterday, Sophia? The game is finished. It's over. With Kalonzo coming into Azimio, and I can stay here for the record, Kalonzo came in unconditionally. Unconditionally. The whole of Ukambani is locked.
But
Because, let me finish, all the other three governors in Ukambani were already in Azimio. Kalonzo has come into Azimio. Now, that takes you all the way to Changamwe. That's where the Mkamba is.
But hold on, Vice Chair, to say
Yeah.
that Kalonzo has come into Azimio unconditionally, surely,
Yes.
is something nobody watching us tonight would buy, because he came out before all of this happened with this personal statement, right? Talking about the deal he had with the former Prime Minister, that he was to be supported, and he maintained about structured talks. We saw the 6-hour delay yesterday as well. So it is not lost on any keen political observer following events in our political arena that Kalonzo Musyoka was a heavy negotiator in as far as what he thought he wanted. And so the position that Honorable Kang'ata is talking about of Deputy President, that it is thought and believed that that's what he said, either I get that or I'm out, I bolt.
My friend, the people who make those demands are UDA. When Uhuru went and sat with Ruto, he demanded and got half of the government. If anything, he even got the fatter ministries, infrastructure ministries, finance, you name it. And that is where was the avenue for the looting and all that. There are some Kenyans here who do it for Kenya. Somebody like Kalonzo Musyoka can do something for Kenya, not for himself. It is them who are used to those. You remember the president saying even the handshake was unconditional as far as Raila came in. Now, with Kalonzo Musyoka, the reality has dawned that you put Kenya first, not what is coming to you as an individual. With them, that is what they are used to. Negotiating government, then they give all the slots to Kalenjin ministers. Uhuru is left dishing out the balance with the rest of Kenya. This is an agreement where Kalonzo now was at a crossroads. In fact, he has been talking about Azimio One Kenya. Actually, the whole Azimio thing is about uniting this country and bringing stability for posterity. And let me finish, because it is very important for them not to mislead people. What Kalonzo is saying, and that is why he agreed to come, and we have said this before, these guys have this narrative. When a Kikuyu finishes, a Kalenjin finishes. When a Kalenjin takes over, a Kikuyu is the running mate. That is why they are fighting to become running mate. So we are like, what happens to the rest of Kenya? This country is bigger than two communities, and you can be sure that is the fix that they are in at the moment, because they have to pick a running mate from Mount Kenya. When Ruto finishes, another Kikuyu will take over.
Okay.
And that is what the president is saying. No. By the way, for us, and you asked us what is in it for us, the way he spoke, we are not interested in that slot, our side of the Azimio. We are interested in our fair share of the government.
Okay, and I'll come
right?
back. Yeah.
Let me finish, Sophia, because it's very important. We have achieved a lot in terms of the roads through having a cabinet slot called Macharia. All right? For us, that is more important than becoming a deputy president.
Really?
Oh, yes. You see, a deputy president is a presumed successor to the president. Presumed. We have now seen it is not necessarily the case, because, and I'm very sorry for them, this is the first time that they will see that to become a deputy president, and a deputy president is like a deputy governor. They have no work, and they work at the pleasure of the president.
They're also a heartbeat away from the presidency. Mr. Kang'ata, I want to bring this to you, because when you hear that this was unconditional, would you by in any way, having seen what preceded yesterday's Azimio meeting, that this was a Kalonzo Musyoka coming and saying Kenya first? There comes a time, he said, when the nation is...
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe, and maybe not. But let me first say, Mr. Murathe is a very good man. He has really given a very good proposition. How I wish one day he can rise up to become the president of this republic. You know why I'm saying that? Yeah, he has said that in the Azimio, there are no conditions. They will not demand anything from Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya will get zero for the betterment of this country. That's very good. That's a very altruistic view of things. So Mount Kenya people, you have no stake in Azimio. You get zero for the betterment of this country. Yeah, no cabinet position because you love this country. Thank you so much. Yeah,
I don't like distortion.
No,
don't misinterpret what I've said.
You have said there are no conditions.
It's unconditional.
It is zero. Exactly.
Kalonzo came unconditionally.
Exactly. I'm only stretching that argument to its logical conclusion.
That Kalonzo came unconditionally.
No, you have also said that
you don't need the DP position.
Yeah, you don't need the DP. Exactly. That's the point. So Mount Kenya
need our
people,
fair share of government.
You hear? So the Mount Kenya people, what he's saying in other words is, DP position is not reserved for the people of Mount Kenya in Azimio. That's good.
Correct.
So good. That's
correct.
That is correct. I like it. Thank you so much.
That is correct.
So Mount Kenya people, Azimio zero. Azimio zero. Azimio zero. You get nothing. As Kenya Kwanza, Mount Kenya, you get DP position.
It's reserved. Surely. Wait, it's reserved.
No, we will fight
but
for it.
You're saying
so,
the same thing with
Mount Kenya.
No.
Hold on.
Allow me to...
Gentlemen.
Surely.
Yes, let him...
You had your time.
Yes, please, let him speak.
But you're saying it's reserved.
No.
You are putting words in my mouth.
Let him speak, gentlemen.
Allow me to speak.
All right, Kang'ata.
Allow me to speak. The point is, he has confirmed, and he has said he's in the kitchen. Mount Kenya, Azimio, not DP post. He has said it. As we are saying, we will consider Mount Kenya people in DP position. Take your choice, Mount Kenya. We love you so much that to the extent we are considering you for number 2. Them, zero. My brother Peter Kenneth, zero. You get zero.
But already you've seen what Malala, the ANC...
We will discuss that. It's okay.
We are discussing democracy now because already you are having a Kalonzo moment where they are coming and saying it's either we are getting DP or we are walking.
Don't worry, it's okay, don't worry.
So they can walk?
We'll discuss.
This is the discussion, sir.
No, not with you, sorry, but in our meeting. You see, for them, they have closed the door. He has said that.
Okay.
Nothing for Mount Kenya is number 2. For us, it's a continuing discussion. Whether Musalia, whoever, because for us, by the way, it's about the Kenyans. But at least we don't discriminate people on the basis of where they come from. Because you're a Mount Kenya person, you cannot get a DP position. That's very unfair. We believe no one made an application to be born in Mount Kenya. We are all children of God. We were not predestined to be excluded from any position. That is our position. For them, by virtue of being from Mount Kenya, you are not entitled to get a number 2
So let
position.
me ask you this.
Now,
Sophia, you cannot let this
No,
guy sit
you
here
speak.
distorting everything.
No,
You
will
get
speak.
an opportunity.
But
You
you
get an
cannot keep on
opportunity.
twisting what we are
No,
saying.
You will
And
get
by
an
the
opportunity.
way, we have the opinion that we can even run a candidate for president.
You get a position.
So
You
you
know
might
that.
leave Azimio again?
So,
yeah,
let
you
him
leave
stop.
Azimio.
You might leave Azimio?
Yeah, they leave us in.
Why not?
Oh, good. It will break.
So
Listen, Kang'ata, stop twisting things here.
Allow me to finish.
No, stop twisting
No,
that we are saying because you are from Mount Kenya, you cannot be this, you cannot be that. That's not what I've said. I have said for us, the deputy president is not an issue right now.
Thank
for
you.
us.
Thank you.
For you people, it is the condition you are putting on the DP that we are going to support you as long as you give us. Suppose the DP picks somebody else. What will you do?
I can't tell you what we'll do. It's part of our secret.
I had a
But-
follow-up to the point you were making. You
Yes.
have talked about how you had hoped Peter Kenneth would be the running mate to Raila Odinga and Azimio. So who is this you hope? Because you're saying you're pushing and fighting to get that running mate position within Kenya Kwanza as Mount Kenya region. So who is this person you're hoping would be the best representative for Central?
I can't state any name now.
Do you have a preference
No, I don't.
yourself?
No, I don't want.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not even confident in
I'm
himself.
happy. No, I can't become a DP for now. I don't feel I'm ready. I believe there are other better, more qualified people who
Like
can
Rigathi
become
Gachagua.
DP. There are many who can become very competent DP. So I yield to them. Be that as it may, the point was, for us, we believe every Kenyan should be given a consideration, notwithstanding where or she that person comes from. For them, I get the impression that slot has already been given to Kalonzo
It
Musyoka.
hasn't.
Of course, I saw that in the newspaper. And for
Which
me,
is
I
not
think,
the
You
gospel.
can continue reading newspapers.
fine, okay, fine. It's okay.
Endelea kusoma magazeti.
It's okay.
All right,
No,
let's-
no, my brother.
You cannot be telling us what the newspapers are telling you is what you are coming to tell Kenyans here.
Okay. Or are you saying Kalonzo Musyoka will not get any major position in
He will,
Azimio?
of course.
Oh, okay.
They said it's all inclusive. You're trying to both corner each other into making some declarations that then you can use it.
No, he
to...
has already made a declaration,
No,
so I don't mind.
I think, Sophia, let
But now-
everybody say their piece.
So-
but I want
Okay.
him to
So-
understand
so-
what we as Zimio resolved yesterday.
And I'll come back to you on that because we
Yes.
actually need to clarify
Yes.
the positions taken yesterday
Right.
vis-a-vis what we saw happen on Friday. But finish your point, sir.
Well, this discrimination against Mount Kenya by Azimio people will stop. We shall teach
How
them a
has
lesson.
the region been
We sh-
discriminated against?
You know, there was a public declaration that the top position should not be for the Kikuyu and the Kalenjin. It was stated in public. For us,
How does that discriminate Mount Kenya?
Well, it demoralizes the young person in Murang'a who aspires to become a president of this republic that he has been told you don't deserve. It demoralizes the poor person of Kiambu who, or from Kirinyaga or Laikipia, who feels he has the competence, the education to rise up to become the president of this republic, but by the mere fact of his ethnicity, he has been told, no, you can't. It's unfair. We can even have
Okay,
back-to-back Kikuyus.
No, Sophia,
Let me bring
let
several-
us finish that point. It is because they are saying you get largesse, state largesse, by becoming president. That's why he's talking about the poor person in Kirinyaga. That because one of you is president, then your problems are sorted. That is why, you see, and this is the narrative and the attitude which we think is wrong. It's us who are saying any Kenyan can be president, and therefore you cannot say this is a preserve of two communities. We are saying open it up because you have 42, but this thing has been oscillating between two communities, and we are not saying the people of Mount Kenya or the people of Rift Valley cannot. What we have ourselves decided, and by the way, we have no issue with the Kalenjin nation, but we have a problem with the current deputy president. For us, it is who should not become the president. And we are very clear, that person should not be William Ruto. Because we have seen his track record, we have seen what he has done as number 2, and we shudder to think what he can do when he is number 1. And we are also very, very clear here, my friend Senator, that we know we can give Raila, for example, the benefit of doubt because we don't know what he will do to us. But Ruto, we know. We know what he will do to Mount Kenya, for example.
What will he do?
He will finish us.
How?
All the projects that the president is doing, they will come to a stop. We have that example in the last 24 years of the rule of Moi, where they said the horse must stop to wait for the donkey. And that is what they are now introducing in Mount Kenya. And what Raila has said, he said he will complete those projects of his excellency.
But are you not listening to what Kalonzo is also saying here? Why he was waiting, why he was hesitant to move into another deal and work with Raila Odinga is because he said he did not keep his word. So as you trust and believe with all of these things that are being said in Azimio and Raila will do this, it will be all inclusive. Are you listening to the caution that Kalonzo has all along been giving, that he was betrayed and that Raila should not be trusted? That has been his position.
MOUs, wait, it's my question. MOUs are just that. You sign something, you can keep it, you cannot. Today, there is a Political Parties Act which actually entrenches those sort of agreements in law. He's a lawyer. He will tell you the difference between those MOUs and today. When Kibaki formed government in 2002, there were MOUs with Raila and the other people. After Kibaki got into office, some of those were kept, honored, some were not. Uhuru had MOUs with William Ruto, unwritten. He kept his part of the bargain. Raila's MOU, Kalonzo is my friend. Kalonzo showed me that MOU, which was kept by Makau Motua. That MOU was very, very clear. If Raila becomes president, he will be a one-term president, 1 5-year term president, and then support Kalonzo Musyoka. Raila never became president. So how they are distorting this MOU, and I asked Kalonzo, look, you told me the depository of your MOU is Macau. Macau and myself were the ones who spoke at Kasarani at the launch of the Azimio. And he told me, no, David, I'm going to release that MOU so that I get it off my chest.
Okay.
Which is what he did. And because he has released it and it is off his chest, now he's happy to come in. Remember, he had said I would have to be foolish.
Stupid was the word.
To support Raila a third time.
A third time.
Yesterday at Jacaranda Gardens, he said, I now declare for
Raila
the third
Tosha.
time, Raila Tosha. Kalonzo is not a madman.
Now, we should not be agitated. And I... No. My brother David today seems very agitated. I do not know why.
Because of your makasiriko.
I know him is a very calm person. His agitation, I get the impression, is because he has been given a task to sell Kalonzo as number 2, and he knows what that means in Mount Kenya. A huge rebellion
that Kalonzo will be number 2.
Azimio. He knows that. Anyway, be that as it may. Oh, 2 issues.
I feel sorry.
Two issues. Number 1, when you say that DP position, DP Ruto did bad things when he was a deputy president, I don't know whether, Mr. Murathe, you know what you're alluding to. You are alluding that our president was incompetent. He was unable to manage, superintend his deputy. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe President Uhuru Kenyatta would allow corruption to happen in his administration. We believe as Kikuyus that the neck can never be greater than the head, and the head was the president. He has all the executive power under the constitution. Enemies did by his deputy, definitely will have to land in his office. So therefore, I refuse completely.
I'll come back to you on
I refuse to believe that my dear president was
unable to
incompetent
rein in
president.
his DPM.
Yes, number two.
Hold
And
on.
this is the most important point. You see, politics, somebody told me in parliament, is like a motor vehicle that has no side mirrors. Politics, people look ahead. And therefore my question is, this political deal you have signed with the Baba, once he becomes the president, what will be the political insurance that is going to underpin and ensure he's going to keep his part of the bargain.
Fine.
Now, allow me to finish.
Yes, so
Please.
talked about the act.
No. First, political agreements can never be legal agreements. They can't. You cannot compel a person to keep a political bargain on the basis of a legal agreements. Political agreements have to be political agreements for them to have political effect.
So even if they talk about sharing of government,
nothing, that will not happen.
Yeah.
You know why? You know how politics operate? Once Baba becomes president, the balance of power will shift. That day, even Murathe here, I can tell you, immediately Baba becomes president, Baba will switch off his phone against Murathe. Murathe will be coming to me to help him, and I will help him. Why? Because he's my brethren from Muranga. Baba immediately he sits on that position will be surrounded by his henchmen, and he will exclude Murathe. It goes without saying. Number two, do you know what Baba then will start doing politically? He will do a projection and ask himself, who is going to assist me to win the election of 2027? He will look at the numbers that have been marshaled by Murathe, by Commander, and His Excellency for the mountain. He will see there were 10 or even 20% or even zero. Immediately then he will know these guys had no political impact. He start excluding them. That's how politics operate.
So on the basis betrayal is what you're saying.
It goes without saying. There will be betrayal on the basis they have not been able to keep part of their bargain by bringing in numbers that then make Raila to get an incentive to keep part of his bargain. For them, they are hanging on a legal document. You see,
which you're saying,
which for me, I'm
not
saying
binding.
In politics,
in
politics doesn't operate on law.
Kang'ata
It should be insured by a politics ability. Let me tell you what will happen.
You cannot be having conjecture in your head about the things. Oh, I know this will happen. I know this will happen.
You know why?
And you have
for them, they are depending on what we call altruism, the moral appeal of Haba.
So let's cover the issues.
To deliver Kenyan numbers, he breaches.
Can I now say for the record?
For the record, the first point he made,
Mount Kenya will deliver to Raila more votes than what he will get in Nyanza, and that you can take to the bank. Number two, these guys have hypothecated. I am telling you now.
How will you deliver?
Just listen to me for a moment.
Okay.
These people have hypothecated their whole game, Ruto for that matter, on Mount Kenya votes. Because without Mount Kenya votes, Raila cannot be president. Raila can be president even without Mount Kenya votes. If anything, whatever you give Raila from Mount Kenya is something he never had. So it is additional. Ruto is banking on Uhuru's vote. But coming back to our constitutional framework, because he's saying there's nothing legal here. The only reason that Ruto is still in office today is the constitution, which says even the president cannot sack him. Ruto is part of the presidency. So when he tells you about the neck and the head, he's misleading Kenyans. All the people who are in UDA today have cases in court of corruption and theft. And that is why you will never find UDA address the issue of corruption. And all the doors of all those cases lead to the deputy president. He's asking, why hasn't the president taken action against his deputy? The president is on record telling his deputy, stop campaigns. Let's wait for it at the right time. The deputy president defied the president. And from day one, he abdicated, he absconded duty. And we have achieved more in the second term without Ruto than what we achieved in the first term. In the second term, there are no NYS scandals. There are no scams. In the first term, it was a litany.
COVID-19? Billionaire?
KEMSA, by the way, and you know why they dropped the KEMSA story? And I don't want to name names, but he knows.
I don't know.
One of those companies of 970 million shillings is his colleague in the Senate. Another company is his speaker. Another one is your DP's wife, The other one is Kinatalam. I will give you, and the report is out by EACC. No, there was a report by the EACC, which, you know, like the last week they removed another one of Kina Moses Kuria and Kina Ann Waiguru. The EACC is obligated to publish in the Kenya Gazette their findings of the investigations. They did the KEMSA ones. We were talked about a company called K-League Association, which supplied nothing, was paid nothing, invoiced nothing. These ones are supplied, were paid, overinflated, and they all belong to them. Ask him who is Puma. Ask him who is Shop and Buy. I'll give you the whole list. In fact, Sophia, we're going to put it now in the newspapers. The companies and the owners of those companies which supplied COVID and how much they were paid. And you will find 99% were from their side.
The second point he asks about...
And I have the facts. And do you want me to share them publicly?
Yeah, why not?
The political arguments which he says are as good as today you say yes, tomorrow you can turn away from what it is you had claimed you will do because it's not legally binding from where he sits.
It's legally binding now. There's a law. It's an act of parliament. They passed it.
You see, fast.
They passed it themselves. Let's go slowly. You see, why do people do legal agreement? Why do people go to him to sign some legal agreements? It's because you trust each other. That's the trust deficit you people talk about. But there has to be a commissioner of oath, an affidavit, a guarantor, whatever, and overseen by the lawyer. It is a binding agreement. And for the record, there was no agreement between Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Amolo Odinga, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, that is that there was a certain arrangement or a certain... What Uhuru said is that everybody who is in Azimio will be in it. In fact, I remember him saying, even you, Mutua, you'll be in it. Even you, Charity, you'll be in it. Let me finish. What they said is that there will be a council. This council will be of the partner parties. Jubilee will bring 2, ODM will bring 2, One Kenya will bring 2, and the other parties, they will sit together, Gilu, Kalonzo, Kup, Northern Kenya, and select 2. That council is the one that will now draft the terms of engagement within Azimio. And for the record, again, and he should stop putting words in my mouth, nowhere was it said that Kalonzo Musyoka would be the deputy president. Nowhere were there any demands which they have been putting on air that Kalonzo wants to be this, he was a Nairobi governor, he wants this share of government. It is them who are used to demanding a share, and they say in equal measure. For us, we expect that depending on our contribution to the vote, pro rata, we will get our fair share of government.
Now,
okay.
In 2013, before we went into the election, there was a binding legal agreement between His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta and Musalia Mudavadi, where it was supposed to happen that...
Where?
It was there was an agreement, it is even in writing,
where
Mudavadi was supposed to be the presidential candidate of that political formation then. This one of 2017 between Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Odinga, the way it was crafted, contrary to what my colleague is saying, Raila Odinga was supposed to cease from vying in 2022, whether he wins or he doesn't win. It is there in black and white. It is there in black. It was circulated. You are equal in the agreement. Now, both of those 2 agreements were breached. But politically, there's nothing you can do. Because in politics, and I want to reiterate the way politics operates, if you want to keep a promise, a political promise, politicize the political agreement. Let the offer, the acceptance, the consideration be politicized. Take it to a public agora, to a public arena, so that in the event there's a breach, the people will protect you. Let me give you a good, very good political argument,
so which has held,
has held. You know the agreement between President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto concerning Yangu Kumi, ya Ruto Kumi. You know that was done in a public in public. That's why we, the community from where I come from, Mount Kenya,
But they have some.
the reason why we are supporting Ruto is on that basis. Even if one party later on reneged on it, the people, the common man is a good person.
So
he believes in the notion and the morality of truths and not speaking lies. No, it's a fact.
He lives.
One party breached,
Senator.
but the Wananchi, the supporters of Uhuru Kenyatta, have
keeping the
refused,
deal.
are keeping the deal.
Senator.
So the point I'm trying to bring is,
Yes.
these agreements my colleague here is signing.
What matters is what the people
exactly.
like. All right,
take
you
it to
made
the the Mwananchi. You see, they are going to some hotel, some room somewhere. They are sitting down, writing funny agreements. I'm telling you.
Which agreement?
Mark my word. Mark my word.
Let me ask you
Allow
this.
me to finish.
Yes.
Allow me to finish.
It's on the same point.
Mark my word.
Yes.
Mark my word.
Yes.
My friend Murathe here, he will be snookered by Baba. He'll be coming to me in September
Coming to you
for
too.
help. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah, I would never go to him. By the way, you know, every time he comes here and we have this conversation, something happens to him. I hope nothing happens to him after tonight.
What are you hoping would happen
I
to
am
him?
saying,
The last time you
like
sacked
for
him.
example, when he now brought yellow fever to Wamatangi, you can be sure this week Wamatangi will not be a whip. All right, we have to get rid of yellow fever in our corner.
So you're still on that
Oh
onslaught?
yes. In fact, even them, by the way, by going to UDA, the law allows us to expel them from the party.
I thought you did. That was one of the resolutions at the Jubilee NDC. That
Exactly.
they're no longer.
But you see, for some reason or another, we may not even.
You're not
be
actioning.
Interested, but that's the law, and leave that apart. What I want Kenyans to know, yangu kumi na Ruto kumi has happened. Uhuru has served 10 years as president. Ruto has served 10 years as co-president. You may call him, listen, you may call him a deputy president. Sophia, let's be very, very clear about this one. The Kenyan presidency is a pair. When Uhuru is away, Ruto is president. When Ruto is campaigning, even today, he campaigns using government resources. He has a Mercedes-Benz in front. He has paratroopers on his side. He is presidential. Sophia, let us get one thing very, very clear.
But you cannot say,
I want to finish on this
Vice
point.
Chair, that already served 10 years.
Let me finish this one.
That was not what you meant in 2013.
When you are on a campaign platform, it's like Moi used to tell us, when you want to marry a woman, you promise her anything. And when she comes in, you say, Bas, to guy. This Ruto, he has served as co-president for 10 years. Uhuru has served 10, Ruto has served 10. Unless they want Ruto to do 20. You want Ruto to do 20
No, but that
years?
is not correct. That is
that
is twisting.
No, they want
you're
Ruto to do
twisting
20.
words, Vice Chair.
No, I
You're
want to
playing
hear
with
that.
words there because
what?
that is twisting words. You cannot surely purport that this is 10 years of what was promised was very clear at that time, that 10 years as president, and then 10 years, and that is the position that he's explaining. To then say now talk about co-presidents.
He has been
The
a
Kenyan
co-president.
constitution does not
The presidency,
envisage that.
you know what the presidency is.
Okay, come.
Unless they want Ruto to do 20. Or they tell us, no, then what they should be telling us is then Ruto should be president and Uhuru deputy, they serve 10. So yangu kumi, nikiwa juu, Ruto akiwa chini, and Ruto kumi, Ruto akiwa juu, na mimi chini. How?
By the way, let me tell you one
They
thing.
have served their terms,
No,
they should go home.
The Mount Kenya region, hold on, let me follow up on that, has moved. The ground has shifted. The president is now trying to bring the people, but they appear to be standing firmly with the deputy president.
Which people? Let me tell you.
Look at all the
Sophia,
defections from the
about
region.
Mount Kenya. Let me tell you something about Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya, you will never know about Mount Kenya until the very last minute. And that's why I'm saying I'm so sorry for them, because they have put all their eggs in that basket called Mount Kenya. If that basket falls, all the eggs are broken. Raila has spread his tentacles the whole country. These people are hypothecating their game only on Mount Kenya. What has the president done? And in fact, he told them in Karatina a long time ago, he said, my choice for successor
Will surprise
people.
Are you surprised?
What were you smoking?
No, we are not. We are not surprised.
No, but
no,
do
we
you
are
remember
not
that one?
surprised.
Do you remember?
I do, and we are not
So
surprised.
it didn't just happen.
But
No,
you
we
are
are not
expecting
Were
that
you
he
expecting?
would do Tano for Ruto, right? I mean, Kumi for Ruto as had
No,
promised.
we don't mind. By the way, we are a little bit happy. Maybe it was by God's grace that the president did not endorse us, because the current economic turmoil in Kenya is now in the hands of Mr. Raila Odinga. He is now the incumbent candidate. Now the rising prices of gasoline, of petrol, the rising prices.
And this is the deputy president.
No. Well, the truth is,
Sophia, you're right.
No,
I like that.
no, we have
When
what we
things are
call.
good,
No, we have what we call de jure by law, deputy president, and we have what we call de facto. Mr. Raila Odinga is the de facto DP. He goes not saying he is the DP de facto. Now, Mr. Raila Odinga has to answer to Kenyans the spiraling praises.
What
of
is this
fuel.
guy smoking?
It's a fact. No, listen. No,
Ruto is the
please,
deputy president.
listen,
When
Madam
things
Murathe.
are good in this country, wait, Senator.
No,
when things
no,
are
give me an
okay,
opportunity
he
to speak.
takes credit for them.
No, give
when
me an
things are
opportunity to
wrong,
speak.
All right.
he is not
No.
part of it.
All right, so
How is it possible?
You've made the
Give
point,
me
Vice
an
You
Chair.
can't have your cake and
All
eat
right.
it.
No, give me an opportunity.
See all the successes of Jubilee,
Hey.
you are part of it.
Gentlemen.
All the failures,
No,
you are
give
not.
me an
Ruto-
opportunity to
Raila
speak.
has no any role, has
All
never
right.
had
You've made
any
your
role
point. You have made-
in government.
No, can you
Today,
tell us the chair
Ruto
of the finance
is still
committee in the National Assembly?
two committees. which were
The
given.
chair of finance.
Vice Chair, you've spoken. Yes, please.
The chair of the finance committee of the National Assembly is a lady called Gladys Wanga, who is a member of the ODM party. She is the one who has been bringing and supporting government agenda to increase taxes on the poor Kenyans. They are the one who have superintended the collapse of the businesses belonging to the people of Mount Kenya, including the closure of Keroche,
So they
which
only
is
affect
the
Mount Kenya.
only indigenous brewery, major brewery from the Mount Kenya.
I will
They
say
are the
this.
one who has superintended the demolition of houses belonging to the poor people of Mount Kenya.
How?
They are, of course, it's
What
a
must
fact.
be
How
exhausting?
does Gladys Wanga
What must
superintend
be-
the demolition
Hold
of
on,
houses?
Hold on, gentlemen.
no,
Listen, Kang'ata, Vice Chair, the thing is, look, we have Kenyans seated somewhere watching this
Yes.
conversation. And the thing that both of you must remember, this back and forth mudslinging from the DP side, from the president side, really, when it suits both of you, you will throw mud at the other. That's what you both
They
been
really
doing.
were
You talk
busy.
about you're now doing better in the second term than in the first
Yes,
term.
it's a
Then
fact.
this other side will claim, but all of that, for ordinary Mwananchi, as we go into this election, all truly they are seeking is to have their needs, their basic needs, their livelihoods improved, their basic needs, being able to live a good life, being able to access healthcare, not all of this mudslinging that the political class appears to really thrive and excel in, as we could literally have that onslaught here the
And
whole
that is
evening.
why, Sophia,
And that
we
goes
find it,
on both-
we find it
both camps.
very, very interesting.
yes,
no,
I agree.
Kang'ata, please, let
You
me say
agree.
this.
Thank
I want
you.
to follow on your point. That is why people are asking the deputy president. You are out there telling people what you will do for them when they elect you. And yet, you are the deputy president now. And they're asking him, why aren't you doing it now? Now, our life, like he's saying, is hard. Why aren't you doing it now? To give Gladys Wanga a seat in parliament, that is not the executive.
And the other people are asking if the president has, and he did even in Sagana talk about corruption and thuggery and all of thievery, if you like, on this other side, and you've mentioned those who are facing charges in court.
All of
Why
them.
hasn't he gone after the deputy president himself, if in fact he is culpable?
Because in terms of the immunities in the law, when you are the president, when you are serving, they can't touch you. The DCI has a full dossier. And the minute he is no longer the deputy president, all those things will come. And even the ones which are there now, the ones which are even there now, all the leads, all the doors lead to his door.
Then prosecute him.
My friend, there is nothing, you can only maybe try and impeach, but because you always frustrate anything that the government has tried to do. And that is why we have found the Raila side supporting government agenda. That is why Uhuru has been able to achieve what he has achieved. These guys, their job is to go to the US and Britain to throw mud. You are talking about throwing mud at their own mother country, at their own government. And the second in command of this government is the one who is talking about throwing mud at that same government. It's, I don't know, but I'm missing something.
Let me ask you, Honorable Kang'ata, because to
No,
the
before
point...
Before I answer.
I've not even asked.
No, yes. You should
Before I
not
ask.
ask. You shouldn't.
No, I should. This
no,
is
you know
my
why?
show.
You know why? You first give me an assurance. You won't interrupt.
Okay, he will not interrupt. I have given you the assurance.
You don't want me to interrupt. Why don't you then let me finish?
The deputy president.
Then let me finish before she asks.
You have finished.
I was answering mine.
No, you want to speak
We
up
have
to tomorrow.
3 minutes
Thank
before
you.
we
Please,
wrap up.
don't
So,
interrupt.
Quickly, the deputy president talked about there being a plot to rig the election. The same deputy president talked about, in terms of stealing an election, interfering with it, no one can do that. So what is he talking about? Because those were two confusing
Even if you
remarks.
put Oburu in IBC,
Listen, look,
Okay,
they
please
don't care.
pause.
Look,
Yes,
and
so
look,
question,
look,
it's okay.
look.
Now let's please speak to that.
You see, an election is not an event. It's a process. It starts way back almost 6 months before the actual date of voting. It includes, one, fairness of the media. It includes fair monitoring of the election.
You're not answering my question. He
I
made
am.
two contradictory statements while in the UK. I've made a very straightforward question. So, is it that there's an attempt, according to where he sits and you as Kenya Kwanza, to rig this election? On the other hand, he says nobody can rig the election. So what is that about?
I'm explaining that indeed there has
It's a
been,
long process.
It's a long process. Indeed, we have seen unfairness, but we'll definitely put in mechanism to remedy those problems. So on one hand, definitely they have started the rigging. Of course,
How?
one, the skewed media coverage of our meetings
What
by
has
the
the
media.
government got to do with
That's
that?
number one. Number two, intimidation arrests, which is fabricated. They have arrested UDA luminaries in a very unfair manner. Look, immediately the proprietor of Keroche supported UDA in Nakuru. What happened? They sent Kenya Revenue Authority. They closed that brewery, which we feel is very unfair, particularly knowing that she is an indigenous, local entity employing millions of Kenyans, farmers who take sorghum there, and most importantly also, she is from the mountain. These are the business people who have given the mountain a very good name. Now she is being harassed left, right, and center
Back to my
for
question.
supporting UDA. So on that basis, it's unfair. But,
So on that basis, the election will be rigged.
notwithstanding those efforts, now Deputy explains, we have to put in mechanism to ensure those problems which are so far being done, they don't really impact on the actual date of voting. That is what Deputy President meant. Number two, when people talk about the problems, the so-called DP has been he is corrupt, I don't know what. Now, after almost 10 years of association with President Uhuru Kenyatta, they are now calling him corrupt after the second term. In the first term, when purported allegations of corruption happened, they never raised that issue. Remember, we are talking of a Ruto who helped President Uhuru Kenyatta. First time 2013, no. In 2002, when Tinga called Uhuru a project, when Kalonzo called Uhuru a project, they all left Kanu. The only last person to stand with him, a major politician then, was William Ruto, 2002. 2013, he stood again with him. 2017, he supported him. After the election was cancelled, he again supported him.
So you wish that
Sure.
President
And 2007,
Kenyatta would
sure.
stand with Ruto now?
Oh, 2007, President Uhuru Kenyatta never offered himself for the candidacy.
So in essence, you're
he
saying-
was ready to support him. Surely, Mr. Murathe, you should have
So
a
you're
little bit
saying,
of
in essence, you had wanted that
subconsciousness.
endorsement from
No,
the
no,
president?
no, no, no.
But
We
that,
only-
what is the point then you were making?
I'm only making.
You are giving him too
I'm
much,
only making.
Nini, to
My
say
friend
the same
here
thing. No.
should have a little bit of
No,
conscience.
can we answer her question? You asked about the rigging. That is psychological. They are preparing for the loss. When people sense defeat, they start saying the election will be rigged, it will be stolen. That is what they are preparing for, and that is why that language has now come. Number two, this fighting people like Keroche and whatever, that is a matter between KRA and a business which is called Keroche Industries. Keroche is from a place. They had a pact of how much you'll be paying over what time. Instead of paying, she is busy buying vehicles, branding vehicles, to catch yellow fever. So KRA is like, oh, so you can buy 10 state-of-the-art Prados worth like 100 million, and you cannot pay this 300, which we had given you space to pay. That's an internal matter. And you cannot be hiding behind politics when you are having your own issues. You are people who are before the courts of 7 billion, Kinaregade and the others. How come you are not in court?
No, you are saying...
Because you have nothing to answer.
All right,
so,
I need to
but
ask
those
you
who are
this.
in court, they have something to answer.
I need to ask you this, Vice Chair. For the NDC on Saturday, that was yesterday, Martha Karua, NAC Kenya party leader, and Cyrus Jirongo, both One Kenya Alliance, they did not come yesterday.
They are not in Azimio.
They're in One Kenya Alliance?
Kalonzo came as Wiper.
Okay.
Gideon came as Kanu.
They signed a deal with OKA, and
that
now
was the day before, and you just said it at your introduction.
Yes, on Friday.
You cannot belong to two coalitions at the same time. The registrar of political parties, I just told you. I spoke to Gideon myself on Friday. So I said, what did you actually sign? Is it a cooperation agreement or is it a coalition? Because if you sign a coalition, you cannot come to Azimio. He says, no. We are signing cooperation agreements, but if the wording is coalitions, if we then move into this coalition, we will do away with the coalition which we signed at Kempinski. It will cease to exist because you cannot belong to both.
So what is the
status
status now?
So the people who came to Azimio on Saturday are not One Kenya. They are Azimio.
So you're saying Kanu and this other
Kanu
party.
and Wiper came.
Wiper.
Their secretary generals signed up there.
So they are no longer part
Kanu,
of
Nick
One
Sarat
Kenya?
signed. This lady of Northeastern for Wiper signed as a secretary general. All right? Abdi, what's her name? But Jirongo, he didn't come. NAC Kenya didn't come. They're not in Azimio. And Mother has never purported to be in Azimio.
So have the two Wiper and Kanu left One Kenya as far as you're concerned?
I cannot speak for them because those were their own arrangement. As we were focused, actually, it was an Azimio event. We went in as Jubilee Party together with our alliances, KUP, UPIA, whoever has signed with us, and they also went in individually.
And you also have an agreement with Kanu. I mean, this is quite muddled up. It's finished
that when we did our NDC, one of the things we resolved was all existing coalition agreements have come to an end because the NDC is a top organ, including with them. Because we had an agreement, a coalition with PDR. PDR. And then they went and bought PDR. So when we tried to kick them out, they would say, no, we just changed our name. We are PDR. PDR has a coalition agreement with. After the NDC, even that one is finished.
All right, Kang'ata, final word to you. You're seeing how these waters are muddled up when you're looking at there's this political parties coming together to sign cooperation agreement, the other hand coalitions. Yours appears to be just beginning in terms of, it appears it was not clear at the beginning what positions would be taken by who. The sentiment you were making about Mount Kenya taking the DP position is the same Rigathi made. Now you're hearing ANC saying that that should be reserved for them. So how are you intending to deal and navigate this quite tightrope?
Our cooperation and our agreement is about the issues concerning the Mwananchi, issues concerning unemployment, issues concerning the falling farmers, producers'
that
prices.
Is very much in order, but I'm talking about regarding how then you as political parties, I'm asking a very specific question, are able then, because these are interests from the various parties coming. So ANC is saying it's DP position for them, it has to be. So it would appear at the time you were coming together as Kenya Kwanza, you had not agreed on how you would work going forward, correct?
Yes, I'm telling you, to us, what matters most is about issues concerning Mwananchi. why should we be thinking about political agreements? You get this position when we get this position when we have millions of young people who don't have jobs. Why should we be thinking about, I don't know, you become DP, become this position
You're running 100
when
meters from
you
my question,
have no problem, when you don't think about the farmers of Murang'a County. So,
the issues are valid
yes,
as you raise them, but my question is rather specific.
Yeah.
I go back to it.
He's refusing to answer.
You're refusing to answer my question. Someone was talked about that DP running mate position Mount Kenya. Rigathi has maintained the same. Here you have ANC saying it is for them. So how do you intend as Kenya Kwanza to navigate all of these interests that will come and claim that they rightfully deserve this and this other position? Not about the issues. In terms of the lineup, the politics, that literally will mean a joint ticket. So you'd have to agree, I imagine, or go your separate ways.
When you are bounded together by the love of this country, you can never fall apart. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So I want to take it to the bank. Our union is ordained from above. And because it's about the Mwananchi, it can never go asunder. Because as exactly, because you don't believe in God. Because Baba goes to church with a cape. He doesn't remember that he's in a very holy place. Yeah, for us, God is crucial. Is crucial. Ours, we believe the beginning and the end, Alpha and Omega, is God the Almighty.
All right, fine.
Were it not for God, I can tell you these guys would have shown the president dust.
You said something I want you to speak to. We are wrapping up in 30 seconds. That you might go it alone. Please speak to that.
Who is going it alone?
You said you might still go it alone, that you're in Azimio, but there is still an option of going it alone.
I want to put the record clear.
Here.
I said he's putting words in my mouth.
Okay.
Something to the effect that we are saying we don't need the DP's running mate for Mount Kenya. And I said, but do you know Mount Kenya can even actually run a candidate? That is what I said. Correct? But we said, for us, the deputy president's position is not a do or die. But for them, because he's championing for Mount Kenya, they are promising Mount Kenya the deputy. And you ask them correctly. So what happens if that deputy doesn't come to Mount Kenya? What will they do? We are watching them on Tuesday. They have an NDC. Is it Tuesday? We're watching them on...
but that's UDA, not Kenya Kwanza, is it?
No, UDA.
Yeah, but that will be...
No, they visit each other. When Musalia had his... Ruto visited. I can be sure, you can be sure, when now Ruto has his, Musalia will visit. There has to be certain resolutions. Number one, they would definitely nominate Ruto to be the candidate, the flag bearer.
That happened even yesterday in the interviews. He already has the ticket. Where
they disqualified that poor woman because she could not raise a million shillings.
No, she doesn't have a degree.
No.
There's also
you
one
said
because
she didn't have
of
the
funds.
Money. So you are wondering, this hustler Mama Mboga, where they fit in. And when you look at their landscape, there's no hustler, there's no Mama Mboga anywhere in that thing.
No,
I think these guys,
Mama Mboga.
They are Alice in Wonderland. They give bedtime stories, and they think we are children. You go and tell that to your children. Don't come and tell us.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we love our children.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Checkpoint this evening. David Murathe, Vice Chair of the Jubilee Party, and Ruto Kang'ata, the Murang'a Senator. We appreciate you making time for us this evening. And we will be watching the developments in the political landscape, as I'm sure as the countdown continues. We are now 148 days to go to the general election. So as the countdown continues, a lot is expected to happen, and those alignments and realignments as well in coming days. So thank you as well for watching and joining us here on Checkpoint. Before we go, let's have a look at what your copy of the Standard newspaper looks like tomorrow.